So you just take the controller like so. I'll get a little port right there, just like that. Okay, I'm going to turn it on for the first time. Hold on. Haha! Now we're talking. Here we go! Super Nintendo Classic. This selection menu actually reminds me a little bit of Earthbound. So I'm going to pick English. And okay. Ho-ho! Here we go. So we got Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Classic, F-Zero, Final Fantasy III, one of the best ones, Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Course. I like that each one tells you whether it's for 1 or 2 players. I'm kind of curious to see when I get to Secret of Mana what it says on that one. Kirby's Dream Course Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, hahaha, it says 2 player, it's actually for 3 players, but yeah, I don't know about the whole multi-tap situation. That's an interesting question. I wonder if this would support a multi-tap. It would require a custom one because of the controller port, but I wonder if in theory it would be possible to do it without modding the system. Star Fox. Star Fox 2, haha, it's gift wrapped. Very thoughtful, Nintendo. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Really Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo would be the best, but there's not a Super Nintendo version of it. Super Castlevania IV, total classic. Super Ghouls' Ghosts, a very hard but very fun game. Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Mario World. It's too bad they didn't put Super Mario All-Stars, or especially Super Mario World plus Super Mario All-Stars, but kind of know why they didn't. You know, they made that Wii version of Mario All-Stars, and you know, there may be versions of it that are available to download for the Wii U and or Switch, so they're probably still making money off of Mario All-Stars, so probably didn't want to include that for free, but that would have been so choice if they had included that. I love the Super Mario World plus Super Mario All-Stars. You got like all the original games in one game pack. Anyway, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, that's there's actually only 5 games on this that I don't have the physical cartridge for, and this is one of them. So it's pretty cool to have that on there. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, my favorite Zelda. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. That's another one that I actually don't have on cartridge, surprisingly. So, yep, that's the full list of games. Incidentally, Kirby's Dream Course is one of the other ones that I don't have on cartridge. Star Fox 2, obviously I don't have on cartridge because really nobody has it. I mean, there's some repro cartridges, but they're based off of the beta. So nobody has like an official legit Nintendo version of it. I don't have I don't have Street Fighter 2 Turbo on cartridge because I have regular Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 on cartridge. Also Street Fighter Alpha 2 just because I thought it would be cool to have the Super Nintendo version of it, and I got it like for $10 somewhere. It's worth a lot more than that now, I'm sure. Here you can adjust display settings, you can choose CRT filter. I guess it only shows that in the games, not the menu. We'll try just the regular 4.3 to start off with, but I'll monkey around with those settings later. Those are the options. That's the same language menu from the beginning. Legal notices, manuals. Interesting. So you can scan the QR code and read the manuals on your smartphone. I guess that's a pretty interesting way to do it. At least it does give you a way to access them. That'd be kind of cool in a way, because then you could look at it on your phone like while you were playing the game if you wanted to. You know, it wouldn't take up part of your game screen, so... okay, and there's your suspend points. Like, if you hit reset like while you're playing a game, much like the NES Classic, you can save your game. And I gotta admit, I'm curious what it would do if you click on Star Fox 2 before you unlock it. That's funny. So, oh yeah, incidentally, I'm sure Super Pixel Girl's gotta be pretty stoked about this one being on there. I'll definitely have to give it a play later, but I think I'm actually going to go with Star Fox as my first game, so I can unlock that Star Fox too. Alright, let's give this a shot. Let's see how well Star Fox runs on here. It does employ the Super FX chip, so this will give us a chance to check out the Super FX emulation. Yep, looks about how I remember. It might benefit from the scan lines though, because when you're seeing it on a real TV, it is very pixelated. So I think I may play around with those filters and see how they look. Alright, let's test out my Star Fox skills. Good luck! Stretch option would be nice. Oh yeah. Filters wouldn't hurt, especially for this since it's a 3D game. I feel like it suffers a little more. Yeah, the 2D games, I feel like running a low resolution doesn't hurt 2D games as much. Like the early 3D games look really rough in low resolution. Yeah, Twin Blasters. That's much better. That's okay, Slippy. Later you'll be yelling for my help anyway. No problem. I told you you'd need my help later. First boss. Gotcha. Stage 2. Alright, let's see if I unlock Star Fox 2 now. Surprise! That's cool. That's so cool. Oh man, I can't wait to play this. I mean, I've played the beta before, but it's still like really exciting. Before I do that though, I want to test out some display options. I'm going to try Pixel Perfect first, see how that looks. Oh, you can choose frames too. No, let's try this one. Okay, so this is Pixel Perfect. So it just makes it a little sharper. It's kind of weird because in the preview it showed the grid lines in the background being... Oh, they changed colors, okay. Because I knew they were green when I was looking at the preview. Hold on, there's more frames over here. So that's cool. Nice. That's neat. Stretch option would be nice, but oh well. That one seems apropos for Star Fox, so let's try it. Yeah, that's not bad. That kind of takes the edge off a little bit. It makes it look more like it would look on an old school TV. I do like scan lines. I think they help a lot. Here comes the big moment. The one we've all been waiting for. Star Fox 2. It's so cool to finally be playing a real official version of this. Sweet. This definitely seems to run slightly smoother than the original too. I believe it uses the Super FX 2 chip as opposed to the original, which uses the Super FX 1. Oh man. Long Lost Classic. There we go. Oh wow, there's 3 difficulties. I'll just try normal for now. Man, this is so cool.
Star Fox team, do you read me? I have terrible news. Our sworn enemy, the fiend Andross, is alive. Even as we speak, he's launching an assault on Corneria. The battle carriers and attack forces of Andross are now advancing on Corneria. Enemy bases have been established on overrun planets. Planetary missiles will be fired from these enemy bases. Once again, we must ask you for your assistance, Star Fox. Corneria will survive if it sustains minor damage, but if its damage reaches 100%, it is all over. Engage the forces of Andross, while at the same time keeping damage to Corneria at the lowest level possible. Good luck!
Oh, cool. Fox, Falco, Peppy, Slippy, Mew, and Faye. Let's go with Fox for now, just kind of like to try one of the new characters. Maybe Mew? Kind of reminds me of the Gradius 3 startup. Select the destination by moving the cursor and press B. Engage the enemy land. Trying to see if I can aim like ahead of it, but it just zooms around in different directions. It's kind of annoying. There we go. Haha, Star Wolf. That's cool. Want to bet? That's what I thought. This is really cool. Yeah, I mean, you can obviously tell when you play it, like, they've evolved so many of the concepts from Star Fox 1, and it's really It's approaching more like the experience that you had in Star Fox 64, just with, you know, Super Nintendo quality graphics. You know, a lot of the ideas from Star Fox 64 came from this game, like Star Wolf and, you know, being able to like charge up your shots and all range mode and things like that. Gotcha. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. This is a really cool game. Let's just have it today. Next I'm going to check out Secret of Mana. Oh yeah, that familiar theme. Gotta love it. In the original, he was unnamed. You just chose a name for him, but apparently the official name for him now is Randy. So we'll go with that. The Mana Fortress. The music seems emulated well too. Sounds spot on. Gosh, it's just such a beautiful game. I just love the way Super Nintendo games look. All the lush colors and the more detailed sprites versus the NES. All the little animated flourishes, like the waving grass and the flowers slowly like drifting in the breeze, and the little flowing sparkles on the water and around the lily pads. It's so cool. Especially Square games. Like, man, back in the day, Square, they were something else. Like, nobody made games like them. Now, well, it's a little different now, but once in a while they still come out with a great game. Once in a while. This is such a great game. And it's one of the few games that Squaresoft ever made that was actually a multiplayer game. And the music is just phenomenal. Like, it's out of this world, as most of the Squaresoft games back then were. It was just truly an experience. Like, I never got so excited as I did back in the day, like waiting for a new Squaresoft game to come out. You know, Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy II and III as they were known in the US, although they were actually 4 and 6 in Japan. Like, my gosh, like, those were the days. Like, you can hit select and it sorts it by different filters, which is kind of handy. Incidentally, fun fact, the Super Nintendo is my all-time favorite system because of the games. I mean, you know, Super Mario World is my favorite Mario, Super Metroid is my favorite Metroid, and Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past is definitely my favorite Zelda also. Just, like, across the board, fantastic games. You know, there's even more fantastic games that aren't on the Super Nintendo Classic, but this has got some of the greatest ones. I think I'll play one more game. Try Super Mario World. Yep, looks just like I remember it. Actually, one quick thing. To try the border with the speakers, which it actually doesn't show up too well on here, unfortunately, but it's pretty cool looking. I like that. It actually makes it, it seems less like a border and more like an actual television, so that's pretty cool. I like that one a lot, actually. Whoever came up with that, like, props on that border, because that's really cool. Anyway. Welcome, this is Dinosaur Land. In this strange land, we find that Princess Toadstool is missing again. Looks like Bowser's at it again. Oh man, I remember, like, wanting the Super Nintendo so bad before it came out, and, like, the Christmas I got the Super Nintendo like the Christmas after it came out. That was like the best Christmas ever. I got Super Mario World and Super Castlevania IV, which are both on here, so it's like I can relive the experience of that Christmas if I really wanted to. Which, I mean, I still have the original games, but... so when you start off, you have Yoshi's House and a couple of the Yoshi's Island worlds to start off on. If you go in here, then you can get a little message from Yoshi. So then you can go out. When you get him, you can come back here and you can eat the berries if you want to. But let's go to Yoshi's Island. Let's try a little spin jump. And I have to say, minor quibbles aside, like I would like a stretch option. This is a really great system. It runs the games really well. So far, which I mean, if you really went through with a fine-tooth comb, you could probably find some little things here and there, but like at a glance, I don't notice any I don't notice any issues with the emulation. The graphics seem spot on, the sound seems spot on, the games run smoothly, there's no slowdown where there's not supposed to be. You can even do a CRT scanline filter, which is really nice. I'm glad that they put that on there. The stretch option is the one thing that it's missing that I really wish that it had. Which last thing before we get going here, let's check out this poster here. I'm curious to see. I bet it shows like all the games that it comes with. Oh, and there's warranty information. A very important agreement from Nintendo, where you give them your soul to get the Super Nintendo Classic. Just kidding. It's not that dire. And you got some startup instructions. So let me open this all up and see what it's got on it. What we have here, if I can zoom out far enough to get this whole poster in here, I want to try to be careful with it, but it's a Now You're Playing with Super Power poster from Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Mario Kart, Star Fox, F-Zero, and Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And then on the back here you have instructions in several different languages. So, in short, the Super Nintendo Classic is a pretty amazing little system. And just for size reference, check this out. So, when they say that it's miniature, they're not kidding, because like if you look at the system here, I've got it kind of flush with the other side over here. It's basically only the size of about 2, maybe 1 3/4 Super Nintendo controllers. So, it's kind of adorable. But if you love the Super Nintendo, you owe it to yourself to try to pick one of these up, because it's awesome. I guess that's all for now, and see you next mission.